Okay, today we will see one important concept which is required for Selenium WebDriver, right? So wherever we go, that concept is very important, and even most of the interviews also, they may have a chance to ask that kind of questions like interface concept and what is the difference between like interface and constructor, and how exactly it is deviating from the original classes, or either normal classes or abstract classes. So what is the difference between a normal method and abstract method? Okay, so this concept is very very important in interface, okay, in interview prospective as well as real time prospect also, it is very important. Okay, so I'm just going to cover that concept today alone. Okay, and let's focus on the same. Okay, basically, what do you mean by interface? Say, for example, interface, right? Okay, interface. What do you the term interface? Like, suppose, what do you think about that? What do you mean that interface is a see, we have in Selenium WebDriver also, we have created WebDriver driver is equal to new Chrome driver on that, right? So in that, WebDriver is nothing but an interface, right? When we use
Yes.
WebDriver driver is equal to new Chrome driver. So in this, WebDriver is nothing but an interface, right? WebDriver is an interface. What does it mean? WebDriver. WebDriver is an interface, right? So what it contains? WebDriver or interface contains what? It consists of some methods, right? Predefined methods, right? Because they have their own methods or implementation methods. So here WebDriver is a interface, and similarly Chrome driver. What do you mean by Chrome driver here? We are just instantiating the Chrome browser, right? So we can say this as a class, right? So both, even class also contains methods, interface also contains methods. Okay. So basically, interface is nothing but it's a contract between client and service provider. We can say contract, any contract between client and server. So, or we can define like a service requirement specifications, service requirement specification, or we can define as a 100% of abstract classes. Okay, so we can define it in any manner. Okay, contract between client and server. That doesn't mean that, suppose here what exactly is going to work in interface concept or any service requirement specifications. Imagine that you are having Make My Trip, right? You have an application, right? Make My Trip.
Yes.
Okay, say for example, Make My Trip. What Make My Trip did? Suppose I want to go to Mumbai or some specific date, right? Suppose if I select that date and I will click on search option, here date is not. Okay. See here we have the Bangalore to Mumbai, right? If I want to go to travel Bangalore to Mumbai, then if I pick the corresponding date, suppose if I want to pick July 10th, right? So once I selected my requirement and if I click on search, then I will get the proper options like which all are the flights available on that particular day. Okay. So this here Make My Trip is nothing but a service provider. Okay. And that means this act as an interface. Okay. Interface is nothing but, and these all are the different client like this Indigo, we Vistara, these all are the service providers, right? Indigo, these all are the service providers. Okay, that means that so what interface did, they will collect the data from the service providers and it will display to the end users. Okay, so whatever the data we required, we are just searching here. That's it. We are just providing the inputs. According to the inputs, we will retrieve the data from the different vendors or different service providers. Okay. Because suppose if you will go to the Indigo, you can able to search only with the Indigo flights, but you can't search with any other Jet Airways or Akash or Vistara. So you can't able to get those kind of details. Okay, but here what Make My Trip did, he doesn't know about the implementation logics here. Suppose how the Indigo has implemented this logic, how the price is calculated. So Make My Trip doesn't aware that. Okay, even similarly, Akash Air also, what kind of implementations they did internally, Make My Trip doesn't aware. Okay, so that means that they are just act as a application programming interface. That means that they are just getting the data from the different service providers according to a client requirement. Okay, so assume that we are the clients, right? So we need the data, so we are going to search the data according to your requirement. And interface, what they did, they will get all the required available services with all the providers. Okay, so accordingly we can choose the which one, which date it is feasible. Accordingly you can select which one you require, right? So that is a simple concept here. So that's why we can't define exactly here. So we can say like a service requirement specification. Even if anyone will ask you about an interview, right? So what is an interface? You can simply say that it's a any service requirement specifications or contract between client and server or abstract classes, right? Is nothing but a 100% nothing but an interface. Okay. So here basically whenever if you have an interface, right, you don't have the any implementations. Okay, only method declaration. Say for example here we are having void m1. Okay, here they don't have any implementations, only method declaration only. They won't define any methods, because normally in normal methods how we did, we are going to declare the method also, right? Statements also we are going to declare, right? But when it comes to the interface, only method declaration only. We don't want any implementations here. This is nothing but a method declaration. Similarly, this also method declaration. Okay. So then who is going to responsible to implement these methods? Child classes are the responsible to implement the methods. That means that they have to define their own requirements. So here, assume that we are having an RBI, okay, Reserve Bank of India, right? So what Reserve Bank of India, what they did, say for example, some kind of services. rate of interest, okay, and deposit should be minimum so and so amount. Similarly, withdrawal. Okay, so these all are the different services which RBI is going to provide. Okay, and similarly, because you have n number of banks, right? Say for example, you have SBI Bank, ICICI, HDFC, okay, Axis Bank. So these all are the different banks, right? So what these banks will do, whatever RBI has provided the methods, right? So they will implement this because according to their requirement. SBI Bank will implement these methods. Similarly, ICICI Bank will implement these methods. HDFC Bank will also implement these methods. Axis Bank also will implement these methods. Okay, because these service provider, they don't want to create any new kind of methods or something. They are utilizing which is already present in the RBI system. That is the controlled by all the banks. RBI is controlling all the banks, right? So whichever it is there, so those things only they are going to implement that methods. Okay, so this will be responsible to implement these methods. Okay, so RBI what they will do, they will just provide the declaration or initiation only. Okay, but implementation, SBI Bank will take care of this. Similarly, ICICI Bank according to their own. Say for example, SBI Bank says that you have to withdraw minimum of 100 rupees at a time or one minimum. Okay. Similarly, ICICI Bank says that no, I don't want to implement 100 rupees. I want to keep 1000 rupees as a minimum withdrawal amount. Or HDFC, it's 500. So it depends. Or similarly, deposits also. So according to your requirement, you can define your own. Okay. So are you clear this up to here? Suppose methods. See, normally when you are using normal classes or there itself, we are going to define this. We are going to implement the methods also. But when it comes to the interface, you have to provide only the declaration. Okay. So, and one more thing, how many methods you have under that particular interface, must and should you have to be implement the methods. Okay, without implementing the methods, system will throw an error message. Or if you do not want to implement M2 method, okay, then you have to declare that child class as a abstract class. Okay, so that means that whatever the method you are not implementing, that next class, next level of child class is responsible to implement that method. Okay, so like that you have to check that. So okay, so that means here interface, right? Now how to implement this? So here we have the class, right? Now you can class service provider implements. Assume that this is the interface bank. Now here class service provider, or you can say here as SBI class service provider, or you can say here is interface client. This is the client. Okay. Now class service provider implements client. So the moment when you implement this client, then you will get the here public void M1. Here you have to declare the statements. In between this, you have to declare this. So this is the method implementation, right? So this is the declaration and this is nothing but a statements. Under this, you have to declare system dot out dot println, you can say here withdraw successful. Okay. See, this is nothing but a method implementation. You got it right? See, now here we have implemented only one class. Class service provider implements clients. We have implemented only one method. We have not implemented the method two. So in such scenarios, what you have to declare? You have to declare here as a abstract class. Suppose if you do not uh, maintain that abstract class, then you have to implement the second method also without having any fail. So here you have to implement, or I will say here method implementation, method 1, method implementation 1. Similarly here I can use the method implementation 2. Okay, like this. So here m2 method. Similarly, if you have n number of methods also, you can implement those under the uh, child classes. Okay. So here, basically the concept which is coming into the picture as a overriding. Say here we have the void m1. So we are overriding this method, right? We are implementing the methods, okay, with the help of overriding concept. Are you clear up to here, Rashita, Loshika?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Only the difference is in interface, you are not having any method declarations. That is the only thing here. And who is the responsible to implement this method? Child classes. Okay. Suppose if child class is not able to implement any one of those methods under the interface, then you have to declare that class as a abstract class. Okay. So otherwise it will throw an error message. Okay. Let's see how this is going to be work out in our hands-on practice. So what you can do, right? I will create one new project, or I can say Java project, and here we can say interface concept. Okay. Because if we can go with Oracle database, right? So in that also, if we can go with JDBC, right? Java database connectivity, JDBC. JDBC acts as an interface here, application programming interface. Okay. And we have the different service SQL, Oracle, okay, MongoDB, or any these all are the different service providers. So whatever the methods present under this Java database JDBC, this will use DeFi, SQL, and Oracle. They can use those methods, okay, which all are required. Okay, see now what we will do. I think it hangs. Hmm. Okay. So here under this I will create a one package. You can directly create interface also. Okay. Okay, under this I am going to create a one class, main class. So here implement class. See, until you create any interfaces, you don't require this main method. Okay. So here this is the package name. Here I will create. Okay. So now here I am going to create void m1. These all are by default public modifiers. So see, now I have created one interface, right? So this is only the method declaration. We are not implementing any methods like statements or any conditions here. We are just declaring the methods. Okay. So now who is going to responsible to implement these methods? Child classes are the responsible. So now if we want to have the child classes, now we can create a class service provider implements, because that is a keyword, right? Implement. Implements is the keyword. Okay. Implements client. See, here we are getting this. We have to implement these methods. Okay. So now we are going to define it here, statements. Say for example, public, how to implement the statement public void m1. You have to. So here I can use system dot out dot println. This is a method one implementation. Method one implementation. Okay. So now we have created one method, but here we have a m2 method also. So definitely you have to implement this method also. Otherwise, system will throw an error message. Say here, the type service provider must implement. See what message it is showing. Inherited abstract method client 2, right? So you must and should implement that method as well. Otherwise, you can't able to get that. See now I am going to use this method to, then I am going to method to declaration, method to implementation. Now perfectly it is going to be work out. Okay, see now here. I think my system is hanging. I'm not sure why it is happening. Okay. See, now we have created one interface and we have added two methods and we have created a one more class service provider. That means that we are implementing the client methods. Now we have okay. So now can I run this now? If I will run this, what would be my output? What would be the output of this? We have created one interface and we have implemented that methods which all are present under that particular interface. Now, if I want to execute these statements, then what we will have to do? How to call these methods? Like M1 and M2 methods are there. How to call these methods? Hmm? How to create an object? You have to create an object, right? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes. Class.
Suppose assume that I am having here rather than service provider, I will say SBI. Okay. Say I will say SBI. Similarly, I will create a same two methods for ICICI also here. Okay. Now I will say here ICICI. And here method one implementation for ICICI. Similarly, method implementation for ICICI. And top, this one is SBI. And this one is also SBI. Now we have created, rather than service providers, we are utilizing the SBI and ICICI. Okay. And we have the client. You can say this client is nothing but an RBI. Assume that this is a RBI. So you will get the more clarity. So this is a RBI. Okay. So now here, if I want to call SBI Bank, then what I need to do? We have to create an object, right? How to create the object? How to create the object?
Class name object.
Okay. What is
Class
the
name.
class? What is the class name here? What is the class name? How many classes are there here?
One SBI
SBI
is the
and
main class. RBI, ICICI.
SBI and ICICI is the child classes, right? And what
Child
is the
class and
main
main
class
class is
here?
RBI and impli class.
Yeah, so we will have to create an object for this. See, now I am not going to create with the class ICICI. So what I will do here, RBI is nothing but an interface, right? So I will create a object with reference of RBI interface. RBI like S1 is equal to new
New.
SBI. Okay. Okay. So here RBI is nothing but an interface, right? Yes or no? As
Yes,
similar
yes.
to the WebDriver, as similar to WebDriver. And SBI is nothing but a Chrome driver, as similar to.
Class.
Now I can call the methods present under the S1 dot, which all are the methods present under SBI Bank, right? S1 dot
M1.
M1. Okay. Now similarly S1 dot M2. Okay. So this is a capital letter.
Okay, sir, while calling, usually we use class name. Instead of that, we use interface first. Interface, object reference, then new class name.
Yeah, this is one type of creating the object, okay, with reference to the
Mm-hmm.
interface.
Interface.
See, you can create one more way of this. How to do that? Can you tell me?
With class name.
Yes, with class name. How to
Yeah.
do that? SBI
SPI,
S2 is
S2,
equal to new.
new SPI.
Exactly right. Okay. See, what is the main difference when you are creating with help of SBI? Then within this SBI, which all are the methods are there? That means that even though if you have some more methods are there, you can call those methods also. Say for example, I will create a one more method here, M3 method under the SBI. You got it right?
Mm-hmm.
See, now
Mm-hmm.
here I am going to create M3 method under the SBI. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one I created ICICI, yeah. Okay, no
Mm-hmm.
problem. So here I am going to create one M3 method and this is ICICI Bank, SBI, M3,
SPI.
method 3.
Mm-hmm.
So now tell me here, now if I want to call M3, how to do that?
S2.
See, now if I run this S1 dot M3, is it going to highlight M3?
No.
No, right? Because that is not present under the interface. We have created a
Mm-hmm.
separate method. That's the reason why if you want to go with that M3, then you have to create a with the help of class name. Then you have to S2
S2.
dot
Mm-hmm.
M3. You can call
Mm-hmm.
perfectly. Okay. See, now this is going to be workout, right? So this is the way you have to create the objects. Say depends on your situation, so which all are present. Say for example, if you have some more methods like this, if you have 100 methods are there under the interface, then if you
Mm-hmm.
create an object with the help of SBI, then you won't get all these 100 methods.
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Only the
Mm, yes,
methods
yes.
which are implemented under the SBI, those methods only will display under this. So either way, that depends on your situation. You can go with that creation of the interfaces. Okay. So this is
Mm.
another way of creating the object, right? Like
Yeah.
as we discussed in an overriding like oops concept, right? So this is the
Mm-hmm.
inheritance concept. We have four ways to declare like this. So this is the combination of interface like parent to child, child to parent, parent to parent, like this. So you have four ways to implement this. Okay. Again, with which is holding the objects here SBI, S2, new SBI. So this is also one way of creating. Now tell me if I'll run this, now I will get all the SBI related methods.
Mm.
Okay, see all that. So now if I want to get ICICI Bank methods, what I need to do now? If I want to get ICICI, what we will do?
Yeah. And we need to call. I see.
How? How?
With if it is like with the interface, then RBI.
RBI,
No.
RBI, I2
S3.
equal to,
Okay.
or
I2 equal
S3.
to new
Yeah, new ICICI.
ICIC.
Okay.
Mm.
So now here you can call with the help of I2
Mm.
dot
To
M1,
root.
right?
Mm.
Similarly, if you want to call M2 method, I2 dot M2.
To the end.
Okay, that's all. So now this will call the, okay,
Mm.
ICICI. So
Mm.
this is, it is helpful. Suppose you are having 100 methods are there under the RBI. Okay. So you no need to create separate methods. So you just simply implement those methods. That's all. Okay. So this is how we are going to concept of interface concept, how this is going to be helpful in terms of, so here this RBI is nothing but a web driver, and ICICI, SBI, these all are nothing but the browsers like Chrome
Browsers.
driver,
Chrome.
Firefox, okay, like this. So now you will come to know SBI. Suppose if Firefox browser is there, any specific browser related are there, then you have to go with that particular browser rather than the web
Mm-hmm.
driver. Okay, so
Yes.
that is the main. So yeah, both the ways you are correct. So if someone will ask you in interview also whether web driver is equal to new Chrome driver or Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver, both the ways are correct only. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, so now I hope you are clear about this concept, right? So this is a uh, concept of interface, because understanding is main important, then implementing is main. So we are just declaring the first, then we are implementing, then we are calling, because for calling we need the main method, right? Yes or no? This is the implementation class.
Yes.
Similarly,
Yes.
suppose here I am having M4 method is there, void M4, but none of the service provider are implementing this M4. Okay. So then what you have to do? You can declare this class as a abstract. ABSTRA.
STR.
Hmm?
TR. TT.
Okay, abstract class. See, when you use the abstract, then you won't get that. Even though if you are not implementing the M4, you won't get any error. See here for
Okay.
ICICI we have not declared as an abstract. That's why you have to be implement that M4 method also. Okay. If you are not declaring the class as abstract, then you must and should you have to implement all the methods which all are present under the RBI. Okay.
Mm. Okay.
You got the difference, right?
Yes.
Okay, see now here you will get this error, so
Mm.
because we don't have that,
STR.
cannot instantiate this type SBI, right? Okay, so these all are the overriding methods also. We can say this is a overriding concept. Okay, so like
Okay.
this, we can go with this. So just to practice this, okay, and if we have any query, we can see that. Okay. So
Yes.
just replace this with the deposit and withdrawal amount. Okay. So rather than this method implement method M1, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can use deposit method or withdraw method and utilize those concepts. Okay. I think that is all about the interface concept. Okay. I will share you this recording. I think this is going to be ended only. Okay. You are clear, Loshika and Rashika?
Yes.